And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Tonight, I am opening up the Mattel I think this was San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for 2023, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a Mattel Creations pickup. They had these on sale. And for anybody that's sort of been paying attention, I've gotten into dinosaurs a little bit and Jurassic Park stuff by way of Cyberzoic. So this seemed a little bit like a no-brainer for a couple of reasons. I love Jurassic Park. I love the dinos. I love the Hammond collection. Dr. Wu, Dr. Wu's fine. I'll have him as sort of like a lab character, a background character for Cyberzoic. But really what I was excited about with this set was Mr. DNA. Because I remember vividly, and I remember very fondly, for my, I believe it was my 11th birthday, going to the theater to watch Jurassic Park. And I remember Mr. DNA. I remember all of it. I mean, I remember the first scene where they're rolling up in the Jeep and they see the Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus is still my favorite long neck for that very reason. And all the amazing CGI that I think still holds up very, very well. But the animatronics were fantastic as well. And that movie still holds up. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. Honestly, it's remarkable how well Jurassic Park stands up, considering it is 30 years old, the 30th anniversary, or it was last year. So, or the year, what year? I don't know. I lose track of what years are 30 years. That's not right. Is that right? 30 years. It was my 11th birthday. I was 41 last year. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so 2023 was the 30th anniversary. There you go. That works. All right. Quip said, I remember seeing Jurassic Park in theater. They definitely all hold up. Just watch through all of them with our 8-year-old. Oh man, that's I haven't watched them with my 8-year-old yet, because I know that my 5-year-old will also want to watch them. And I think my 5-year-old is probably less scared by stuff like that. But I just rewatched all the Jurassic Park movies and the Jurassic World movies last year for the anniversary. I hadn't watched them all I didn't watch them like all in one night, but I watched them sort of over, a week or two. And man, that first one is by far the best one. But anyways, we're actually working our way through. I didn't think they'd be into it, but they're into it. And so we're working our way through the Camp Cretaceous series right now. And I'm very much looking forward to what's called Chaos Theory. Is that what it's called? The second series from the sort of cartoons. And I'm enjoying it, man. I mean, it's fun. There's new dinos. It's a little bit, it's definitely a kid show, but it's still got a good amount of Jurassic Park DNA in there. So it's pretty good. Quip said there were a few intense parts she looked away or covered her eyes, but overall she loved them. No nightmares. My kids are pretty good about that. It's we can usually like talk through things, and but yeah, it's time. I mean, I really want to watch them with them. And Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory are both fun too. She's all about those shows. I'm all about those shows too right now. I'm all about dinos right now. As I said, Cyberzoic is sort of like my my jam right now. I'm really, really excited about them. The Creative Beast Studio stuff is amazing. But I got to hand it to Mattel, what they're doing with the Hammond collection, and even what they're doing with some of the other stuff. I've actually got, I've got a couple bonus dinos to open tonight that I actually just picked up. And like they're doing good stuff. I mean, it's inexpensive. The Hammond collection stuff is really nice. The inexpensive stuff it's cheap, but it's dinos and it's fun for the kids to play with, and it's fun to get kids interested in something that's you know, a way to learn something too, a little bit of something, not a lot of anything, but I mean, it's not scientifically accurate, but you get an idea of it. So, Quip said Jurassic Park is her first grown-up movie she watched with mom and dad. Nice. We did the Harry Potter movies. Now only the 8-year-old watched the last two. We told the 5-year-old that she has to read all the books to watch the last two because they get a little heavy at the end there. So Alpha Magnus, this is the Jurassic Park 30th anniversary Dr. Wu and Mr. DNA. This is like the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from last year. So this is not something that anybody is going to be sort of wanting. Like if you don't have it, you don't probably want it. But I got it on that Mattel Creations clear out. But anyway, let's get this thing out of the box so it's not just a boring Jurassic Park box on screen here. So it came, I got it from Mattel Creations, came in a brown box. Actually, there was a brown box on top of this box, but then this box is just essentially a brown box. With interestingly enough, the sort of two Jurassic Park logos, the yellow center with the red ring, and then the red center with the yellow ring. This one to me is the Jurassic Park logo. This one, nah. No, it's got to be the red. Anyways, opening this up, there's a weird little tab. So I think that's got to be like to sort of turn the electronics on. That's got to be my guess.
It's a velociraptor. Just one drop of your blood contains billions of strands of DNA.
It's just talking to me now. All I had to do was open the box and it started talking to me. I don't want to open it anymore. Okay, quickly we'll look at this. So there's little instructions in here. What does this say? It says open from the top to access the battery box. Yeah, so I think that was replace the batteries in the battery box. Why would I do that? It's working just fine. I don't think I need to. And then it shows you the contents and how to use it. Okay, I mean, if you can't figure that out, that's going to be legalese, disclaimer, back in the box. Okay. Before I open it, so it's like got in-gen security systems. It's got like, that's clever. They're not that secure, are they? It kind of just like some concrete, and then Jurassic Park logo on the back. Bingo, Dino DNA. Little sort of bio on Dr. Not. It's just setting the scene basically. There's I mean, you can read it for yourself if you want. I'm not going to bother because I mean, again, it's not about this. It's about this, and this is not pre-folded, so you got to fold this out. Do the other side too. And there it is. So you get a nice big fold-out card. It's weird because the fold-out card isn't like, I don't know, it's all cardboard. None of this is like, that could have been plastic. I feel like that could have been plastic. Maybe not. I don't know. So you get Wu in there. He's got a pencil. He's got a dino egg. He's got spare hands. He's got a little clipboard. I don't know, does that come out of his hand or is that like connected? I think that's connected to that hand, which is good. You're not going to lose it. That's nice. And then Mr. DNA. There he is. Mr. DNA. Not much to this one, which is why I have bonus dinos to open. So interestingly, the sound all comes from the top here, and you can see there's like a little grate that it comes from. Oh, there's a light too. Okay, well, let's before I kind of here, I'll reset. I'm gonna reset this angle because I think this is it. Now, can I get the angle that I want? Yeah, that'll work. So he's all in plastic right there, but That's okay. I'll pop him out of the plastic in a second. But first, I want to press the button and sort of see what things it says.
There's no unauthorized breeding in Jurassic Park. Bingo. Dino DNA.
Okay, so it seems like it says two things every time you push the button. And I apologize. It's really loud. I don't know if it's coming across as really loud on the other end. But I want to see what else it says.
Perfect timing. And now we can make a baby dinosaur.
A baby dinosaur. Why does he have an accent like that? That's what I don't understand. But there is a light. There's a light there too. And I don't know if it just automatically turns on when I push the button.
It's really not that difficult. A DNA strand like me is a blueprint for building a living thing.
Yeah, that's cool. I like this. I dig it. I'm gonna take it apart. I'm not gonna leave it sort of in the package like this.
It's a velociraptor. And now we can make a baby dinosaur.
Does it repeat? It seems like Mr. DNA repeats himself, but anyways, that's okay. So I think that's the velociraptor egg right there. I think that's why I keep saying it's a velociraptor, but I'm not 100% certain. Now, how do I get this out of here? From the bottom, maybe? Is it meant to come out? It's got to come out, right? It's got to come up from the bottom because the top's got all the sound bits. So I'm gonna pull it out from the bottom and see if I can get these guys out of the plastic. Because oh yeah, it'll come out. I think. Oh, the whole thing like okay. So the whole thing kind of comes apart. The whole thing's kind of flimsy, I'll be honest. The whole thing is a little, like that's the sound box. It just completely came out. As soon as you take the cardboard out, the whole thing's just sort of flimsy and floppy and oh well, I want to get them off the plastic, so I'm going to do that. I do want to keep like the kind of play set intact. I just want the figures out of the plastic. And when I say play set, I use the term very loosely. I think I'm going to try to just put it back in the box. It's very clumsy to do it on the camera side, so whoop. It's clumsy to do it on any side, I guess. Oh, now it doesn't want to go back in. I'm going to be stubborn. There we go. All right. So I have no clue where or how I'm going to display this. I have no idea. This is a odd. This is an odd thing to own. He's got elastics. Dino eggs, spare hands, as I said, pencil that's going to get lost so quickly. Probably. How do you get this thing out? I don't know. I'll get the pencil out later. No, I won't. It's going to drive me nuts if I don't get it. Oh, man. I'm so totally going to lose this pencil. There's no way that doesn't get lost. It's tiny. It's incredibly tiny. All right, so there's Dr. Wu. He is a pretty basic figure. He's got the clipboard. It's got like blood or dino guts or something on it, I think. He can hold his pencil. Oh, that's a soft pencil. Sorry, Dr. Wu. So we can hold his pencil. We can, jot down some notes on his thing, I guess. As I said, the figure is very much a sort of secondary accessory. Man, I just realized that my camera is like way off here. There we go. That's better. It doesn't look anything like the actor who plays him, but that's okay. I don't think I really expected it to. We get a little dino egg that has a little teeny tiny dino in it. And if the little voice box recorder thing is anything to go by, it's a raptor. You're gonna stand up there? Probably not. It doesn't. This isn't flat. Like I said, it's just cardboard, and it's not. Okay, well, let's just leave it as is. 2 spare hands. So he's got more of an open hand and then another sort of C grip hand. And they're small and they're boring. And who cares? Dr. Wu, meh, whatever. But there he is, Mr. DNA. It is a translucent clear with paint apps. So it's got yellow, pink, and blue. Painted on the front and on the back, although because he's translucent, his eyes are painted. They look a little bit weird from the back, but that's okay. They did paint his little eyebrows on the back as well, so it's not the eyebrows are painted on both sides. I bought it for this. I really, really wanted Mr. DNA. Don't ask me why. I just thought it was really, really fun when they announced it last year and really wanted to grab it and finally was able to. As I said, Mattel Creations had this on like 40% off or something like that. So I was like, you know what? At that price, how could I not? Let's see. Alpha Magnum says, not terribly loud. Okay, good. Let's see. I'm not a fan of the giant soundbox adding to the cost than a cheap display piece. They could have made the figure better or something. I'm not. Look, like I said, I bought this for Mr. DNA. I did not buy this for the soundbox. I did not buy it for Mr. Wu. I didn't really buy it for the display. I just bought it for Mr. DNA. And at the normal price, I think the regular price was like $40. I was like, absolutely not. But I think it was $20 or something. So how sturdy is that cardboard? Doesn't have to be plastic so long as it's reasonably durable, but it does seem to be on the flimsy side. It's pretty thin, but it's engineered pretty well. Like it's pretty, the stand is firm, the base is firm, like everything is everything's pretty solid. Like if you just sort of keep it as a display, sort of as is, it'll be fine. Like it's not gonna break down too fast, I don't think. I would not have bought this item because I'm not into the Hammond scale. I just want DNA. That's all I wanted to. RIP Amber collection. So I don't have anything from the Amber collection. The Amber collection is amazing. But I didn't feel like I had room for it. And as I said, when Cyberzoic was announced, I was like, oh, that stuff's really, really cool. I wish I could get that. But initially had no intention of getting it. And then I was bullied into it by Brick Something. And now as a result, I have a whole bunch of dinos because I'm kind of filling out, the dino world with the less expensive Hammond collection so that I can, once the Cyberzoic stuff starts landing, I'm hoping that some of the armor fits on some of the Hammond collection stuff. So, let's see. He looks more like a pilot, maybe an astronaut. Well, okay, so Cyberzoic is sort of like in the future, or at least that's sort of how it seems. So that was sort of my justification. Like the Dr. Wu can work in the Cyberzoic labs, like the Tech Clan and the Cyberzoic is all is all technology and scientists and cloning and all that kind of stuff. So he's gonna fit in perfectly. Anyway, Quip said, "Who was first, Clippy or Mr. DNA?" Who's Clippy? Alpha Manga says, "I have the glow in the dark dino from them. I love it, but I can't justify dinosaur figures much space wise." Yeah, fair enough. Do you mean the Beast of the Mesozoic glow in the dark dino? I have looked at that a couple times. I don't have that one. But anyway. So as I said, not much to this, but I do have a couple extra things to open because I just picked them up and because they were appropriate to be opened with this. So from the the Mattel Jurassic World Chaos Theory series of figures. Oh, I gotta readjust this. Hold on. That's still not gonna be wide enough, even though these are relatively small. Here, I'm going to put his hands up out of the way there. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the display out of here. I'll just take him, and I'll take him, and I'll take this, and I'll move this up here, and I'll put him in here. Wish I had a little display where I could just put him. Let me figure this out here. I want him to be front and center, but not get in my way. So there. As long as I don't bump him, he'll be fine. Woo's like a secondary character as far as I'm concerned. Well, he is a secondary character. All right, so I've also got these two Jurassic World Chaos Theory dinos from the Epic Evolution series. I don't follow, the series. I don't know which dinos are which. All I know is that some dinos make noise and have like weird effects and stuff like that. Thankfully, these two, which I really, really wanted, are just basic figures. Like I don't think they do anything. They're just dinosaur figures. So I got the Gallimimus as well as the baby Apatosaurus. Now, the baby Apatosaurus was a must because about a week ago I picked up the Mama Apatosaurus, which is gigantic, and there's no way I'm gonna get it on screen. Like that's the neck, and that's like right over top of these dinos, so it's absolutely huge. Like the head is the same size. No, the head is bigger than the body of the baby. But I really, really wanted to get the baby to go with the mom, because I have kids, and kids love when their toys have mums and babies. These are just on like a little card There's not much to them. That just pops off, and that's open. That's it. I love that. That's a toy. That's what a toy is supposed to be. You're supposed to just cut it off the card, and away you go. And with these, you can. There you go. And away you go, playing with your toys. If he will stand up. He might not stand up. He'll stand up. He'll stand up. So these are Jurassic World, right? So they are Chaos Theory, but they're Jurassic World. So there's actually like a highway in the desert on here to indicate that these are sort of on the continent, I guess. But they do them like, okay, this guy's in forest, this guy's in the mountains, this guy's in grass, like swampy grass, this is forest again. I don't know what any of this means. I think if I was like following this line, I would kind of know, but I'm not. I'm just buying dinos. Quick look at the Gallimimus first. So you get articulation in the neck, you get articulation in the legs, you get articulation in the arms. You know, they just go up and down. There's not much to it. There's not much going on here. He does have an articulated mouth, which is really, really cool. I was very, very excited to get this. I love the Gallimimus. I love the scene with the Gallimimus, you know, where they're running around in herds. They did a Hammond collection Gallimimus, but I think it was like the first wave or like around the first wave. And I wasn't collecting them then. And apparently they were really hard to find. And so I, for obvious reasons, didn't get one. And I think they're going for a lot now. Also, a weird thing about Jurassic World toys, not the Hammond collection. The Hammond collection doesn't do this, but all the rest seem to have these little QR scan codes where if you get an app, you can get like dino information. I should really get the app, but because then you can learn more, right? Like I said, you know, the kids can play with them and they can learn about dinos. That's sort of where and how they can learn about the dinos. So that's the Gallimimus. The paint apps on these are pretty good, but what I realized, what I figured out, because there was 2 of these at the store. I should have bought 2 because they're pack, but anyway, I only bought 1. But they actually cast this in a plastic, and I gotta adjust my light. Man, I'm so not on point today. They cast it in a plastic that, oh, you could see it in the legs. So see these little like speckles? That's cast into the plastic. That's not a paint app. So it's actually a really, really clever way to add, you know, something to the figure without adding anything to the figure. You know, they just cast it that way, and then they don't have to add paint. The reason that I know that it's cast that way is a couple things. It's on the bottom of the feet, so if you're painting it, you wouldn't paint the bottom of the feet. But also the dots. I looked at the dots on 2 legs for the 2 Gallimimus, and I realized that the dots weren't in the same place. So it was pretty obvious that that was what they were doing. But the paint apps are minimal, but it looks really good. Like the paint apps are, you know, and what's crazy is the Masterverse stuff, the paint apps are terrible, but the paint apps on these are surprisingly good. Here is the baby Apatosaurus. So the paint apps are good until you get to the tail. See how like the tail is not painted, the legs are not painted, so the body's painted, but they like the paint goes right to the end of the body, and then it just ends very abruptly, which looks terrible, but it's okay. My kids aren't even gonna notice that. I got the little, you know, DNA microchip thing in the back there. Very on brand, I think, for Jurassic, anything Jurassic Park related. But again, you get articulation in the legs, you get articulation in the neck, so it can look up at mom, and you get articulation in the mouth as well. Just a really basic, really simple, but really adorable little dino, and very, very happy to get that to go with the mama figure. As I said, you know, I'm sort of building out the Hammond collection to sort of get a head start on How am I gonna fit all these in? He'll go there. I just want to show you my dinos because I'm just excited about dinos. I got an Ankylosaurus. Up here, I got Carnotaurus, which is a really, really cool figure. I'm not gonna have room for these because they're big. They're big and they get bigger. You know, I showed that Apatosaurus. I can't fit everybody in shot here, especially once I get, you know, Giganotosaurus or Giganotosaurus. I don't know what he's called, but this one is amazing. Such a cool toy. Now he's messing up my background and stuff. But anyways, that's not even all of them. I got a whole bunch more dinos all over the place. Let's see what you guys are saying. Alpha Magnus, I'm dreading Mattel making the Motu dinos. I don't know. I mean, if they're anything like these, they could actually be really, really cool. I think. I don't know. I mean, we won't know until they come out, right? But I could see them doing them pretty well. I'm trying to get these guys more in shot here. And then we'll chat for a minute, and then I'll play with my dinos. I don't want to knock over Mr. DNA. Okay, there we go. I don't know. I mean, I think Mattel could do the dinos pretty well based on, you know, what is sitting in front of me right now. Gallimimus, aka Creepersaurus Rex. Why is he called Creepersaurus Rex? I just realized I haven't watched the last two movies. I mean, I don't know if you need to or want to. I just want Dinosaurs toys. Fair enough. Alpha Magnus, I'm dreading the cost. I don't but I mean, Mattel's pretty good. I mean, apart from Eternia and probably this snake layer debacle that's going on, you know, I think Mattel's pricing is pretty fair, pretty reasonable for what you get. You know, if you disagree, that's fine. But I mean, I think, or actually, I will say the quality for what you pay, I think, is not great. But Mattel, in my opinion, doesn't typically put out crazy expensive stuff. Anyway, that's what I got. I mean, today was all about Mr. DNA. And these little guys. Oh yeah, and that guy back there, Dr. Wu, he's around too. But that's all I got tonight, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I got lots of other stuff to do. I've got well, here, let me. Well, no, it's not easy to get. I just got some classified stuff in. I've got a Super 7 Ultimates video to edit that I already recorded. So I got a lot of stuff coming up. So stay tuned to that stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, as brief as it was. As I always say, it is always more fun to open toys with friends. So thank you guys for hanging out, chatting with me while I open up some toys. Hopefully you guys will join me again on the next one. I'll be doing, you know, my regular Sunday thing on Sunday, and then probably doing another live unboxing next Wednesday as well. Like I said, I got a few things to open right now and more on the way. So stay tuned. Until next time, bye-bye.